Oh, yes. It's Wednesday at 7:58. 7:59-ish. Yeah, we're early. Hell yeah, we're early. Early, bald. And now, ready? We ready? Oh.
Everyone missed that bald face.
Ugly.
It's not the same when I host a stream.
Ugly. Yeah, so I was on vacation last week and I was thinking that you'd have to do it again. And then I was like, wait a minute. We can just do it tomorrow. Like, nobody gives a shit about what time we do this fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I was,
It's a brand loyalty, man.
yeah. I was on vacation last week. It was good. We went to COVID Central, Florida.
Ooh.
Yeah, we go to the same place. We've gone now 4 times out of the last 6 years. Anna Maria Island. Very fun.
Anna Maria Island. That's Western Florida, right?
Yeah, Gulf Coast side.
Very nice.
Very little people there because apparently they went back to school. You know how Florida rolls.
Well, I mean, everyone's going back to school, and apparently everyone's just stuck in their dorms now because they all went to online only.
Apparently here in Virginia, people went to school. They cashed all their first month rent, room and board checks, and then they're being told to go home now. Very much scammy by the church.
It is pretty much scammy.
Colleges.
Like, why would you pay $40,000 to $50,000 a year for Zoom teleconferences? Dude,
Yeah.
you can look at fucking Wikipedia for free.
You could, but you wouldn't have a little piece of paper that says that you accomplished it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we have a special guest tonight. The man, the myth, the legend who started hashtag NFL Drop EA. SOFTDRINKTV. What's up? Soft drink?
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me today.
This is his virginal podcast / live stream. So everyone
Popping
in
this
the
cherry,
chat,
man.
yeah.
Feels
Yeah.
good.
I've never done a podcast before, so
Really?
we'll see if this goes well. This is a good introduction to podcast.
Well, some very clear things as we were talking in the green room is that there are no expectations here. The way that we exceed everyone's and deliver constantly every week is by making sure that the minimal standard is that we actually have a show. That's the only standard, is that we're able to get online.
And we don't crash it randomly.
Yes, that's it. Okay. So, let's see. So let's recap a little bit. Obviously, I popped in a little bit last week. We talked about the process dying. The 76ers are out. There was a little mini boycott. The NBA's back. The NHL playoffs, there was a bunch of 3-1 leads. Only one team was able to convert and eliminate another team. And the Isles have still a 3-2 lead. It's very unlikely to come back, but it's possible. 3-1 comebacks happen more often than you think. I was very surprised that the Canucks were able to.
It's because Thatcher Demko played out of his mind.
He did. And I was also surprised that Colorado stormed back and actually started scoring some goals. And
everyone's questioning why they just started Ben Bishop, but
yeah,
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, that's Ben Bishop for you. He's either pitching a shutout or giving up like 4 goals on 9 shots.
I tell you, when Ben Bishop is good, he's very hard to beat.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's off, he's terrible.
Yep.
And then Tampa Bay took care of Boston, the only chokers. And
Boston really didn't choke. They just had the better team, I feel like.
Yeah. And then Boston sports media just roasted Tuukka Rask, and it was ugly. Yeah. Who was that?
I mean,
I don't even remember that clown's
Mark
name.
James.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who the fuck he was. Apparently, he was trying to like stalk a woman by texts in her like DMs or shit back in Florida.
It's the only way I meet women. It's by stalking.
Oh, that's how we all meet women, man. You think we get pussy on the internet? Fuck no.
Only Giraffe Neck Mark has that. Like he has. There's some attractive girl that finds him attractive on Twitter. I think her name's like Little Clicky.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah, I've seen that
yeah.
before. It's like, I like, are they legitimately dating or is he just simping? I'm not sure. Probably a
She's
little.
simping him, which is even more amazing.
Oh.
Yeah. Soft drink. Have you ever gotten a woman interested in you because you are a YouTuber?
Not at all, because I'm in a bit of a long-term relationship that started before I was a YouTuber.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
So I mean, she really likes the fact that I'm now a YouTuber. I don't know. I don't go around though telling people. A lot of people in my personal life don't know about it just because I don't know. I like to keep it kind of on the down low.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I
assumption-
tried, and then my family spread it like fucking wildfire, and nobody can shut up about it now. So
Yeah.
that's why, word of advice: keep it as low profile as you can.
Yeah, because it's just really awkward when like a family member is watching one of your videos.
Mm-hmm. I have to hear about it every damn time.
Yeah.
The broad assumption though is that if you're a YouTuber, you are single as fuck and you live in
We live in a
relative's
basement and we can't get laid. Although
Yeah.
that kind of is true.
Yeah.
I lived
Well,
in a basement for
yeah.
a while,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm married and you know I don't get laid, so. All right.
Well, that's the key of marriage. After a long time, you just don't get laid.
She just starts to hate you after a while. That's how it works.
Did you guys see what Mike Vrabel said about something like that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I forget.
I know he talked about castrating himself if he won the Super Bowl. So
Yeah, he basically said he doesn't need his penis anymore. That's basically what he said.
Well,
he's
you
wife
could
and
married
kids
for
will do
long.
that to you.
You could be like Ben Shapiro and talk about your wife's dry ass pussy.
P word.
Yes, we said it. All right, so we've got the man here. That's an excellent segue. All right, let's talk about NFL drop EA. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how did you come up with this? Was there any just like intent? Were you just frustrated? Like, where is the origin of this like in your head, and how did it just all come about?
So basically, it all happened within a few hours. I woke up super early, like 6 a.m., which is really early for me.
That's
And
early
I
for
was
anyone. Yeah.
I went on YouTube. I saw like some videos about the Metacritic score of Madden. I had just reviewed the game a few days prior, and I was still pretty pissed off about how horrible it was. And then I just started thinking like, man, this just sucks. And I wanted to think of a way where I could use my subscriber base to, kind of like start something and get the NFL's attention. That was my main goal, because I feel like the NFL is they're enabling this by having that exclusive rights agreement with EA. They're enabling EA to just go out and do nothing because there's no competition. That's the NFL's doing. EA's just kind of, being a greedy company that most big companies would probably do the same thing in that situation. So I wanted to get the NFL's attention. So I quickly threw together a script of I came up with the hashtag NFL drop EA, meaning NFL drop their exclusive rights with EA. That was my intent behind the hashtag. And I thought, what the hell? Why don't I just make a video telling people to type a hashtag? Maybe it'll go trending. I don't know. The fixed franchise mode hashtag went trending 2 months ago. So maybe this will go trending, and then maybe we can get the NFL's attention. That was my main goal. So I made the video, uploaded the video, and like, how when you upload on YouTube, it shows you like the placement it is out of your past 10 uploads.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was that
this
one of
one-
10?
Huh?
Was it one of 10 like right away?
Yeah. This one was just like way ahead of everything, and I was really surprised. I was like, okay, people are really pissed off right now. So then I went on Twitter, and then everyone was just posting this hashtag, and it went to number 2 trending is where it peaked, which is crazy if you look at the other stuff that was trending. There was stuff about like Trump riots and the Celtics game,
Right.
and people cared more about this. People cared more about Madden being bad. That's how angry people are right now. So
what's funny is someone sent me a message with let me find it here. Livick. Yeah, he sent me a picture of the number 3 on Trent when it was number 3. And I know that you had like signed off on Twitter because you just started to hate the toxicity of it. And then I tried to text you that picture, but I was at the beach and I couldn't get on the network. And then the next thing I know, I saw that you had reactivated your Twitter because had someone like had people like started telling you about it? Like, how did you find out without having Twitter?
I deactivated my Twitter because I was so sick of just opening the app, refreshing it, closing it just to open the app again. I was just wasting so much time on Twitter, just mindlessly. There's so much toxicity. So I deleted my account or whatever. So, but then when I made this video, I would go to twitter.com on my browser, not logged in, and just like search the hashtag and see what was happening. I saw people were starting to like give other people credit for it. Like they were like, man, I can't believe you started this hashtag, to like random people. So I was like, selfishly, if I'm starting a big movement, I kind of want like some kind of credit for it.
Yeah.
So I reactivated my Twitter and I was like, I created this hashtag. And then people were comparing me to like Jesus rising from the dead, which was really weird, but
well, that's what Jesus did when he, after the 3 days, he came back and he was like, fuck EA. He was like, look, 2,000 years from now, I've got to get the NFL to end their exclusive rights. And I'm supposed to, start the end times revelations. I don't know. I'm thinking now that maybe hell will freeze over before EA gets rid of this exclusive. So okay.
Technically it's until 2026, but if we can get our way, maybe there's some opt-out clause those NFL lawyers snuck in there somewhere. But
I really don't know how it works legally, but you can see here clearly that EA absolutely mailed it on this version of Madden 21, just like they did with Madden 25 on, with the new system coming. Like Madden 25 was terrible for both Xbox 360 and for Xbox One. And then it just continued to never get better after that. Right? Like I have been waiting. Like in fact, my channel used to be a Madden channel. That's my custom URL is Madden 5 points.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Right. And my email is Madden 5Points.info. Like my name used to be Madden 5PointsVids. And it's just been sad that I remember the day very clearly. I had worked really hard. I was beating somebody online in a game. And it was like the last play of the game, and someone basically just chucked up a Hail Mary, and it landed like Des Bryant like caught it over 4 defenders and took it to the house on me.
That's such bullshit.
Right. I called like a quarter prevent and backed everybody up. I was just like, there's no way. Like I beat this guy. And then I remember turning the game off and then immediately going to the home screen, deleting it and saying, I'm done. I will never play another. And that was Madden 16 was the last one that I owned.
That makes a lot of sense because that was when aggressive catch was super overpowered.
Yeah. It was terrible. And not just that, it's like, how do you play defense? Like, I was like, this is not something that happens in the NFL. Like even the Stephon Diggs play, like, if you're smarter than that and you back everyone, like the fucking Saints, they should have just played a quarters defense. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I hate to break it to you, but Madden's never had great defense. You could always just chuck it deep and the wide receiver would catch it every time.
Yeah.
Just an FYI.
It's true. It's true. But that was the culmination of many things. Like I remember one time there was a drag route and I had the guy wide open by 20 feet and Eli Manning threw it directly at a defensive back who was 10 yards.
The scripting in the game, the ball will just go across the field right to a defender just because the game wants you to have an interception.
Right.
I hate that.
And what's funny is I know I've followed Ryan Moody before. I've seen his videos come up, and he is very alarmist where he's just like, this game is 100% scripted, and he's built his channel off of that. But then when things happen and people post videos that completely back up his logic and his thinking, then you're like, this guy isn't whining. He's just speaking the truth. And I think that's where it just gets to the point where someone like Ryan Moody, who's been screaming that he's been Chicken Little for all these years, is finally getting attention for calling out the game. And then obviously you have been not an ally of EA Sports. It really, it's, I think this movement is finally reached a head where it's gaining traction, you know?
Oh yeah. People
So-
are finally waking up and coming together and realizing this game sucks. We need to stop buying it every year.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't happen a few years ago, because I mean the game's been the same for the past, I mean, since you said Madden 25, franchise mode especially has been the exact same thing for the past, how many years is that? 7? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why it's taken this long.
It takes a while. I mean, if you notice it's the same game over and over again, you're going to get pissed. And the only thing they add are like a bunch of gimmick modes and, you know, Ultimate Team. And everyone knows Ultimate Team is where they make their money. And it was the worst thing that could have happened because they think, oh, shit, I can actually make more money than this than by selling hard copies of the game and fleshing out those modes.
What's so funny is I'm so old, right? I remember when Ultimate Team, like, they were called cards, right? I think it was Madden 2002, 2003.
Yeah, Madden cards.
Yeah, they were called Madden cards, and they were trying to create like a virtual card trading game.
Like a trading card, yeah.
Yeah, and you could play with the, like, it was before online, and nobody played that game mode. Like, everyone was like, yeah, let's just, we would do tournaments and like we would play for cash. And but then online just took over, and you know, Madden cards became Ultimate Team, and then it soured the game and it ruined it. All right, I got 2 more questions because all these super chats are piling up. So the hashtag gets all the way to Pat McAfee. And I think Pat contacted you, like you were gonna go on the show or at least talk to them. Did what was that process like?
Yeah, so I saw on the Pat McAfee show that they talked about the hashtag, but they didn't mention me at all. They were not aware that I had anything to do with it or even who I was, I believe. So I quote tweeted their clip from the show, like saying like, "Hey, I'm the guy who started the hashtag. I'd love to be on the show." And a lot of my like followers on Twitter, people like that, they all started like spamming the Pat McAfee show, saying like, "Put SoftDrinkTV on," and then he followed me on Twitter, which was like surreal. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a capture follow there. Oops. Sorry.
So then I DM'd him because his inbox popped up, and I said, "Hey, I'd love to be on the show. I'm the guy who started the hashtag." And then him and I started talking, and then he basically offered to put me on the show. He said, "I'll hit you up tomorrow in the morning, probably sometime between 2 and 3 p.m." So what I read that as is that he's going to hit me up at 2 or 3 p.m. What he actually meant was he's going to hit me up in the morning to go on the show at 2 or 3 p.m. So I didn't check my phone until noon the next day, and he had messaged me at 10 a.m. saying, "Does 1 p.m. work?" And I said, "Yeah, that works at noon," but his show was already live, and he just hasn't messaged me since. I think I missed the...
You missed the window. Damn.
So I'm really pissed about that because that would have been crazy.
Yeah. You would have been the second TRM influencer to go on the Pat McAfee show because RBT was on.
Man.
Indirectly. I don't know. I think Perna will get on the show before any of us else do. At some point Perna will be on. But yeah. So that kind of sucks, but you know, you can't always life doesn't always match up to what you think is going to happen, right?
Well, maybe there'll be a second chance because I kind of have this plan tomorrow where, you know, you can only get a hashtag trending once.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you noticed, but the day after that hashtag went trending, all the NFL teams, all the NFL media guys, all the Madden EA accounts, they were giving out the game codes they were giving out game codes, and they got Madden in the complete opposite way. It looks just like damage control.
Mm-hmm.
And we got no response from EA, no response from the NFL, just like Fox News reported it, stuff like that, but there's no response. So I feel like we need to keep going.
Yeah, you're doubling down.
I think tomorrow I'm going to make a video with a new hashtag, and we'll see if we can replicate what we did before. Maybe even go trending higher since it's a weekday and there's not as much competition on Twitter. I don't know.
Nice.
I think it's worth going
Something
again.
like hashtag disenfranchised or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got a pretty good hashtag. I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, he's not going to give it away. He's not going to give it away to all 350 people that are watching the show. All right, and the last question is like, you didn't get any response from EA, but I have to think that the NFL, somebody has got to have picked up on this.
No doubt.
EA responded to Fix Madden franchise, and that didn't make it to -- on trending. Like, I know it, or it did. But I think if NFL drop EA, if I work at EA and I get on Twitter, I've got to be aware that you started that.
Oh yeah, they're definitely aware. There's no way they're not aware of that. But they just went completely silent once that happened. Like if you look at all those developers that are usually like talking on Twitter, they're just completely silent right now.
They're in the worst spot because I'm sure they're like, hey, can we get a team to work on franchise? And they're like, fuck you. We're spending money on new card art for Ultimate
basically.
Team.
But these hashtags that we get trending, these movements, we're helping the developers because we're letting the executives at EA know, hey, we actually want you guys. Like there's a demand for you guys to actually improve the game. You should put resources into it to avoid this backlash. I think we're helping the developers, but of course they probably hate me. But
oh yeah, I'm sure. Tom Seaver just passed away. One of my favorite players.
Tom Seaver died. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, he had dementia, I think, for a while. He was battling it.
It's been a rough week for just deaths in general. Chadwick Boseman, John Thompson, Howard Chuck died a couple weeks ago.
Yep. And Keith Richards. Keith Richards is still pumping along. Every drug in his system.
Oh, the drugs probably gave him immortality.
Yeah.
Probably one of those situations. He did so many that just like, you know what? Fuck it. We'll give you immortality.
Right. Iggy Pop looks like a giant raisin, and he's still alive. Okay. All right, let's start reading some Snapper chats. I know, I'm sorry, guys. It's 8:21, but it seems like there's a less volume this summer for Snapchats. But next week, I have to tell you, Tom Grassi is going to join us as well, right? You got him locked up, Tree?
Yes, sir.
The Grassi Posse. So we're going to have nothing but awesome guests like Soft Drink, Tom Grassi. Yeah. I'm going to effort Adam Rank next, and maybe I'll shoot for Cameron Magruder. One of these.
Scooter Magruder.
Yeah, Scoots. I think he'll be receptive. I'll be like, hey, do you know who UrinatingTree is?
I think he actually follows me on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, like I think one time like I mentioned something about pit football, and like I kind of responded to him. It's just like he followed me. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm working on a video with Grassi. That's good. And Adam Rank. It's going to be very funny. All right, Beast of Metal 1989. Doesn't matter what you see or into what you read. You can do it your own way. If it's done just how I say. Metallica, Eye of the Beholder. You can, doesn't matter what you see or into what you read. You can do it in your way if it's done how I say.
It's actually pretty fitting for a lot of stuff going on in the world right now.
The Chinese Communist Party.
Oh,
keep Chris, for $10, I was going to say a few Met jokes, but yes, EA, fix your crap. It's not just sports games, but all games in general. Look at how they handled the Star Wars license and BioWare. This company is trying. Yeah, EA has consistently been voted the worst.
All they do is take small companies and eat them up. And this is going back to like the 90s, 2000s. Bullfrog, Westwood.
Yep.
There were a couple others. Maxis, I think, was one.
So, all right, Soft Drink. You got to talk to Trip Hawkins, the founder of EA. How did you orchestrate that?
I basically just went to his personal website, and there's like a media page, and I just kind of shot my shot, and he responded within a few hours. He was down. So
wow,
pretty easy.
That's crazy. That's awesome that he's that receptive. I think I want to be that receptive to people that ask me questions. There's some people that I've reached out to that don't ever respond. I think Bob Maneri was one. Like, I think he thinks he's too big for his fucking britches. But also sometimes genuinely people just don't see it. And then I emailed Batting Stance Guy because I needed to do research for a video, and he didn't respond to me. So if you don't respond, you make it to the list, and that's 2 guys right there. That
and now you are putting them on your eternal hit list for when you become supreme ruler of the balding lands. You will kill them all.
That's right. Bob Maneri thinks he's hot shit, which he is. He's hilarious. I find him very funny. But yes, that's how it happens. All right, I really like this next one. Beast of Metal 1989, light a candle for Jimmy Johnson. And before you blame the officials or the virus, know that eyesight begins to decline at around 40 years of age. Yeah, Jimmy has not been fast this year. Okay. Jimmy has that it happens. Think like for me at age 43, about to turn 44, a lot of things start to go. At age,
although the weird thing is, like back in the 90s and 2000s, you had a bunch of guys racing at a peak level in their 50s and 60s.
Mark Martin,
Dale Earnhardt, Ricky Rudd, Sterling
Swervin'
Marley,
Irvin.
Dale Jarrett.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there was a preference. Maybe these young kids actually had respect for their elders. Jimmy missed the playoffs basically by 1 race, and it was because of COVID, though. So God had a plan for him, and
that wreck at Daytona is just nah.
Yeah, that was that he was there, man. Like they were in the last 2 laps, basically. If there wouldn't have been a wreck there, he'd be going to the playoffs. Playoffs? We'll talk about playoffs. Yeah, poor Jimmy, man. But these kids now, the 40-year-old, 40 racing around with these 20-year-olds like Austin Dillon, it's hard to compete with them. And I know I tell you one thing that goes is my stamina at this age. Like I can't jack off as many times as I used to. I used to jack off 6-7 times a day. Now it's like 5.
You are now winning the EDP Olympics.
Oh, one time I stayed home from school. It was like 9. Like I was sick. Definitely. Everyone's broken their. Everyone type in your personal records.
Shit, my personal
record. I know
record.
you're online. What's your personal record?
Like 6 or 7.
6 or 7, yeah.
Shit. Like that was like when I was like 16.
You went -7.
I got nothing to do. Let's jack off.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
You went 7 under par. That's pretty good. -7.
Oh, I'm not Tiger Woods. I maybe call myself Marco Mira.
Look at these
Ernie
scores
Els,
right here. -11.
Craig Stadler. 20. Yeah, right. 17, 20.
Jesus.
Jacking off once an hour. That's going to be tough. People only doing 4 or 5. 11 I can buy.
Sorry, my wife was yelling, and I thought she was yelling at me, but she was just yelling at a cat.
Maybe the cat was talking about jacking off.
Jacking off. Yeah, the cat was like, meow, -6 one day, meow. All right, you read Alex Moreno.
Yes, Mr. Alex Moreno. The song of the week is Someday by Nickelback, requested by Ken's. And a quick response from Beast of Metal. Nippleback. Blah. That Ken's guy's music sucks.
Ken's is his
Beast
girlfriend.
actually, Ken's is a girl.
Yeah.
So
and she has horrible taste in music.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 19, though, so he can pass.
Yes.
He will age with time.
Softy, do you like Nickelback?
I think he's got some catchy songs. I think he's a little overhated. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just some catchy.
There's nothing wrong with a guy named Chad from Canada singing the same melody every time. Okay.
I mean,
and you're against EA? Okay. All right.
Well, he doesn't have exclusive rights on music.
That's true. That's true. He does have exclusive rights on horrible goatees and being married to Avril Lavigne.
Have you seen Fred Durst's goatee back in the early 2000s? That was a pretty rough looking goatee.
That was. All right, keep it going. Keep reading them.
Let's go. Craig Kramer for 240. Steve Cohen. That's it. That's the super chat. Hashtag let's fucking go Mets.
Still no confirmation that Stevie C is going to buy the
As
Mets.
I said, I'm waiting until it actually happens. Because the Wilpons can still fuck it up.
Freddie Coupon's got to die, I think. Or just continue to be in a further hole from this Madoff
Jeff
shit.
Coupon will replace him, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Coupon's young, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We need Steve Cohen. Now, Steve Cohen, not a great guy either. Like, I think he's made his money on junk bonds and just kind of, you know, the Jordan Belfort way. But he's better than the Wilpons, and he's going to invest money, and he's probably going to fire BVW. So.
Oh, dude, BVW's fucked no matter what.
Yeah.
He's a bad GM, dude.
You know what? Yeah. Okay. But how do you really gauge him? He had 1 year where they were bad, and then they made a run. And then this year, how do you gauge anybody? How do you count what you're seeing?
Well, you judge it by that awful Robinson Cano trade, which I didn't understand, because why would you take on Cano's awful contract in without hesitation? And this is before Edwin Diaz became Ed Luis
Cano's
Diaz.
hitting, though. Cano is hitting.
Yeah, but can he play defense anymore?
That's true. I think the real problem is like Van Wagenen has no organizational control. Like, he needs to go be like, hey, Seth Lugo, you're the closer. And, you know, Steven Matz, go away and just continue to throw out minor league starters, because Diaz has been terrible. So,
well, it's not just him. It's Yoris Familia.
Familia's been good. Familia's been better than Edwin Diaz. And Betances is hot garbage. So,
well, Betances is coming out of an injury. That was a high-risk,
shit.
high-reward guy to begin
shit.
with. So,
anytime you need someone to be themselves from 2 years ago, no, you need them to be themselves from right now. That's just stupid. All right, Craig Kramer, Uncle Steve buying the Mets, and not 5 minutes later finding out about Chadwick Boseman was the most 2020 moment to happen to me. Fuck 2020. Yeah,
that was rough.
How's your life been affected, Softy, by the pandemic?
I mean, it's been kind of the same, really. I've just been in my apartment making videos.
Right.
I mean, my friends they went away to school. But I'm trying not to hang out with anyone really or see anyone. So it gets pretty boring, and it's just now going to the grocery store is kind of a dangerous event.
Yeah, because you're like, hey, could you not stand next to me, motherfucker? Like, don't you see the sign that says one way down this aisle? What's funny is, like, you hate all the people that go the wrong way down the aisle, and then you do it. And
you do it accidentally. It's like, oh, shit, right, I'm going the wrong way. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. Publix down in Florida removed those signs. I was like, yeah, finally. Fuck. You can't police that.
You can't force it. You can't enforce it. It's impossible.
No.
I mean, if you try and enforce it, you just come off as totalitarian, and then you turn into California or Michigan.
The only thing I miss is, like, I miss getting on plane, like making enough money to just get on a plane and go somewhere, you know, like if I want to go to Colorado.
Or we can like get network with stuff, you know, like spring training, or we were talking about a trip to Nashville. We're
going to go to Nashville. We're going to go to Martinsville.
Yeah. Martinsville was a couple months. You were going to go to Bat Factory in Louisiana.
I was going to go to Baton Rouge. We could have had we were going to do an influencer baseball game, you know, like,
yeah,
just sucks
like,
now.
I could have gone on vacation. I was actually going to go on a cruise for my aunt's 70th birthday.
God. A cruise is COVID central right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's a petri dish.
Yeah.
They aren't happening for a while. I don't think they're even on the shit on the
massage parlors. Halloween is done. Nightclubs where you meet someone and grind on them. That's not happening.
Boo.
Right.
I mean,
what else?
Well, you have Tinder, but it's like, I mean, how are you going to sneak out and do the bounce chicka wow wow?
I think if people are horny enough, it'll go.
Oh, don't worry. People are pretty horny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, when will the nebby neighbors like bitch like that? Two people are fornicating and they don't live in the same house. Oh my God! Call the police.
And it's not like a bunch of people are getting pregnant either that were.
No, it's just domestic violence, alcoholism, drug addiction, and suicidal tendencies have gone up.
It's terrible.
Probably suicides too, but
All right.
I mean,
yes, it's terrible.
Yes.
It's a terrible time to be alive right now, but it's better than being dead. Alex Moreno, I tried Fago this week. Wasn't bad, but ICP is. What's
Fago.
is
Fago's
Fa-
okay.
I thought Fago was a soda.
Yeah,
It
but
is.
Yeah.
ICP is like that's their official soft drink. It's like Fago.
Oh, Insane Clown Posse.
I think it's like made in Michigan. They have them in Pittsburgh.
Imagine being an adult that's a juggalo. Like a fully
Yeah,
Like
grown.
Juggalo funerals and Juggalo weddings.
I've seen a few. They're scarier than Raiders fans.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Imagine being like a 40-year-old juggalo that does that on the weekends. I've only heard like maybe one or two ICP songs in my life. Like,
I just know the one about magnets. Like it's like wind, water, fire, and earth. Magnets. How do they work?
I didn't
I
even
don't
realize
even
they were
know.
still like making songs by the time that came out. Like that was a meme like 10 years ago.
I remember that's where I knew them from initially. But I don't know. Now they're doing like charity stuff. They're at least good dudes, even if their music sucks.
yeah. Yep. All right. Alex Moreno, 42 was probably my favorite baseball movie ever. Now, for me, Major League is number one, but 42 is up there for sure.
I wouldn't. I mean, in terms of comedic value, I mean, I don't think I would put it up there. But I mean, for just the impact it had, like,
Yeah.
and just how well it was put together.
Yeah, 42 as a comedy. Yeah, it was really funny when Jackie Robinson defeated racism or got called.
Yeah, it was really funny when Eno Slaughter pretty much spiked Jackie Robinson's shin.
Yeah,
that was a
I
great
had a
moment.
good gut laugh there.
My favorite part was when all the people called him the N-bomb.
Yeah, in St. Louis.
God,
Mm-hmm.
that's the. I just. Oh God, that sounds so. Hey, it'd be a comedy in Alabama.
All right, I'm from Alabama. Alabama is not as right because the thing with Alabama is like everyone recognizes that they hate each other, so it's a little bit more open. I don't know.
I withdraw my statement.
Yes. All right. Craig Kramer also Madden has sucked since 2008. If I'm being real, 2012 was fun, but 2002, 2006 was the best. EA in general has sucked for a very long time. SimCity 2013 sucks just
that was
as
pretty
bad.
bad.
SimCity
Like, you had to
was
be
a
online to
great.
play a single player game. That was
Oh
bad.
my gosh, there were The Sims was such a great franchise. SimCity was great. There's so many games that EA took and just ruined. Like,
Man.
Quest for money, baby.
what was your favorite Madden? Soft drink.
Definitely the PS2, Xbox, GameCube era version of Madden 08, I think was
pinnacle.
from the Madden games I've played growing up, that was the peak in my opinion. It was the culmination of all the features on that generation. But the ones that went on the 360, I thought they were pretty. I just didn't think they were very good. The gameplay was always just kind of weird and bad on those. But
With the 360 games, at least there was one thing that the game was good at that you could manipulate to your advantage. And once you picked like Madden 11, or was it 12, had just an overpowered run, right?
Mhm.
Like, and then Madden 13 was all about hot blitzes. And then, like at least you knew the devil back then. Now it's such an RNG and it's so terrible. Like there's so many things to hate about the game. Like back then you could hate one thing more, like you could contain the hate, right? Now
Yeah.
the hate is all over the game.
I can't find one thing to say positively about Madden 21 or Madden 20. There's just nothing redeeming about the game.
No, it's because it's the same rehash shit over and over again to the point where not only did you hate the Madden, 16 version that they've been copying, everything about it that hasn't been fixed, you start hating even more. And I play a lot of NHL and it starts to snowball into that as well. I mean, I need my hockey fix. Like the thing that sucks about NHL is like they don't have an exclusive. It's just no other company has the resources to put together an NHL game. Right?
Yeah.
And so there is no competition other than apathy. It sucks. Alex Moreno, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. We really missed you, man. Yeah, it's terrible that he was battling cancer
when he was doing those films.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It makes you just, it makes you
Like-
wonder, go ahead.
Like, I didn't think like Black Panther was this cinematic masterpiece, but I mean, that sucks.
What's funny is people he hated people, or he didn't hate it. He was getting sick of people coming up to him and saying Wakanda forever. Imagine you're going through cancer treatments and some normies coming up to you and be like, Wakanda forever. And you're just like, yep, thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, but he's getting his
Couldn't
chemo
you-
treatment, and
Right.
the nurse says, "Ebom bang," and you're supposed to say, "Fuck you, I'm getting chemo. Get the fuck out."
Right. I'm getting injections. You couldn't at least come up to Chadwick Boseman and say, "Hey, I thought you were great in 42." Like the first thing that anyone said when they saw him was Wakanda forever, and that's probably, unfortunately, one of the last things that he'll remember. But I think the sacrifice was worth it, right?
Apparently, like everyone was just like bitching
Not
at
the perfect
him for losing like 50 pounds, and like they were making fun of him. It's like when you lose 50 pounds, it's either drugs or cancer.
Yeah, and he was going through cancer.
Stage 4 colon cancer.
Yeah. I worked in the field, and let me tell you, you just that's why I had to get out. It was terrible. Plus my company
Sounds so
fired me.
depressing. What was that
Yeah.
like? What was that like?
Awful. I mean, I sold testing to infusion centers. Like we did this bone marrow biopsy, and you just go in an infusion center and you see a lot of people who are very sick. They're very scared, and you don't know what it's like. I mean, an infusion, yeah, when you see on TV like people are, they're throwing up, that's after, right? But the part that sucks is you're sitting in a chair hooked up to an IV that's feeding you poison, and they're betting on that poison being deadly enough to kill the cancer, but not you. So not only are you feeling like shit while they're pumping you through that shit, then it's afterwards where you're just vomiting all over the place. And, it's hard enough to sit there and think about yourself like on a long car ride, but it's even worse to think about yourself when you're sick and sitting in a chair watching Matlock or some shit. So,
That sounds horrifying. Like,
it's
especially
terrible.
if you see like a kid, like if you see kids going through that, that's just even more depressing.
It is. Can we talk about funner stuff like how bad he
Yeah,
sucks?
let's try and make something happier.
Holy shit! I'm about to
Sorry.
fucking
Read more of my chats.
right. Alex Moreno, daily reminder: Dear Rams, cut Ramsey already. You can't cut him. You cannot cut him.
They wanted to get Leonard Fournette, and now they're giving us a bunch of crap for
No,
it.
you
And
can't pick up
thing is,
Fournette. Why would you pay a
Ramsey-
running back?
Les Snead, in my opinion, is just went from being a mediocre GM just to being so unlikable. Like now we're in the issue with Gerald Everett, and the thing I don't know if you guys realize this. He was picked 3 spots before Juju Smith. Robert Woods is a USC receiver who blew up in LA and became awesome. Yet Tree, I'm take it you're happy you got Juju Smith. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Juju's probably going to be a free agent after this year. Oh, by the way, Dallas just scored. It's 1-0. Looks like Miro Haskinen.
Yeah. They need to get out of the lead and they need to stay in front.
Yeah. Well, the problem is Colorado has no goaltending. They're
Softy,
starting Michael Hutchinson again.
Who do you think gets Fournette? Who do you think takes on that risk?
I mean, he's free at this point, so contract minimum. Shit. Pittsburgh, I don't know if he really fits per se.
Maybe Washington.
Washington is
has
desperate.
AP, but
Because, Darius Geis has gone to prison and AP is old.
he couldn't
so-
stay
And Dan
healthy,
Snyder's now
and
the
he
head
was
of the
also a piece of shit. So,
Football team.
mm,
You read Sean Pinkerton there.
Sean Pinkerton for the legendary 569. First, EA needs to go to AA. Second, hope the Rockets take the piss for the 69th time against, of all teams, OKC, so I can laugh my arse off. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, that turnover by Russell Westbrook at the end of the game, I saw it on Twitter. It's like, Jesus.
That was horrible.
Typical Westbrook.
Triple-double, man.
Yep.
Got to buy it.
Yeah.
To buy it.
He's just filling the shoes of Chris Paul. he's just you know, he had expectations to live up to in that exchange. Uh-huh. All right.
Well, I mean, if they lose, D'Antoni's gone. His contract's expiring at the end of the year. Morey might be gone too.
Yeah, D'Antoni to me seems like one of the most overrated coaches of all time, and he's also a quitter.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are a few coaches that have done less with more than Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah.
And Morey will probably get assassinated for those Hong Kong quotes. I mean, he already cost the NBA
NBA owes him a fucking apology.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was fucking with that boycott. It was, I mean, it looked like, okay, you could do something with this. You can make a legitimate statement. It turned into this spineless shit. Yep. It's like, come on. I mean, the only positive you got out of it was you turned the arenas into voting booths, which they've been pushing for a couple months anyway.
Yeah. No,
and, I mean, you got to get people to there.
Trevor Teormina, glad Tampa beat Boston. No great shot of a crying rat this year, but I'll take what I can get. If Philly loses its next game, I'll be one happy guy. You know who obviously I'm a Rangers fan. My second favorite team is whoever's playing the fucking Flyers. And hopefully that series will be over.
Pittsburgh has a long-time meme for Philly. 1975, the last time Phillies won a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
And Colorado just scored. It's tied at 1.
Oh, my gosh.
30 seconds left. Looks like Nikita Zadorov.
Softy, do you like hockey?
I don't hate hockey. I don't watch it, really. I saw one game when I was at Disney. When was that? Like a month ago. I went to Disney because I had tickets and I just had to use them before the year ended. But I saw some hockey game where a team, I don't remember who the teams were, but it was like a massive comeback. So you probably know what I'm talking about. It was like the biggest comeback. Was it Toronto? But
yes,
I don't really follow hockey.
Yeah, Toronto versus the Columbus.
Toronto Columbus?
They scored in the last. Yeah, they pulled the goalie. They came out and they scored 3 goals in like the last minute. And then
that's the one.
Yeah, then Columbus beat him the next game. Alex Moreno says, I want our damn cap space back. Not coming back. Nope. You have no cap space.
Yeah, I think you have what, like $60 million in dead cap between Gurley and Cooks or something like that?
Yeah. Over the cap. You're just paying luxury tax.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. You have no cap space.
I'm still mad. Just why do we have Ramsey? I didn't want him. No one wanted him, and now we really don't want him.
Your window is shut.
I'm sorry, $36 million in dead cap.
36 million dead cap.
In between 2 players.
How do you get under that cap? I don't. I think you just pay the luxury tax, right?
Kroenke's just not gonna care. Just be happy. Oh, I got a new stadium. Blah blah blah.
I've got a video coming out about SoFi. I'm going to allege that SoFi never recoups its initial cost.
It probably won't. I mean, especially with, I guess, this unpredictable dent in Kroenke's profits.
Yep. All right. Tree, read the next 3.
Let's go Beast of Metal 1989 for 5. I could look for an EMBO machine if you want to hold your breath indefinitely. Or not. Most of those are hooked up to victims of the virus.
What was it? Only 9,000 cases were from the virus alone.
Yeah, 6% apparently. But
what do we know?
Yeah, I mean, nobody knows anything. That's
all
the problem.
I know is I don't want that shit. That's all I know.
Well, yeah. You don't know if it's going to affect you.
Do you think corona is... What are you more likely to catch, herpes or corona?
Probably corona.
Yeah. What about eye herpes or pink eye? What do you think you'll get next, pink eye or corona?
Not sure. Pink eye is like flares up or flares down. You either get it in stretches or you don't.
Someone could fart in your eye and you could get pink eye.
Yikes.
Keep it
It's
going.
like, oh, this girl sat on my face, but she farted, and now I got pink eye.
Yep. Or you ate ass and she farted. Now you have pink tongue. Softy, you eat ass?
Was bleached.
Right. Anyway,
Something I could do.
sorry, don't answer that.
I'm
Yep.
not.
Craig Kramer for 10-10. Let's change the subject while we're here. The New York Gases look to set out in the season with a wide receiver core that makes the 2013 Jags look like the 99 Rams. Don't worry, Joe Douglas scouted Ed Reed once, so he needs to be trusted. Hashtag I hate the teams I root for.
Jets
Well, they're
could
going to get a
surprise
bunch
some
of
people.
like gambles at this point. Like O-line, you have to hope that George Fant can convert to blindside tackle. If Mekhi Becton's ready.
Becton's gonna be a beast though.
Apparently,
I
Le'Veon
feel
Bell might be like traded for like the third year in a row.
Yeah. Gase does not like Le'Veon and his rats.
Who even is the number 1 receiver on the Jets right now? Who
Shit,
is
I
their
know
guy?
they got rid of Robbie Anderson. Jamison Crowder.
Ugh. Ugh.
That's their number 1.
I heard
don't
on
know.
here's the thing. I heard on the Dan Levitard show, this is the best thing I've heard. Sam Darnold looks like a Lego policeman. Does he not? Doesn't he look like a Lego policeman? All right, no one wants to back me
Sure,
up on that. Okay.
I forgot that they had Demaryius Thomas last year. The Jets. Looking it up.
Demarius. Mm-hmm. All right, keep her going.
Mm-hmm. Let's go with Beast of Metal again for 10. With all the shit Gruden has pulled lately, the COVID stunt in particular, I feel very bad for any fan base of a team that employs him or a member of his coaching tree. Stupid is imitable, after all.
I don't know about the COVID stunt. What happened?
I'm not sure, but shit.
I don't know.
forget.
All I know is that who's in Gruden's coaching tree? Lane Kiffin?
Yeah, Lane Kiffin, probably is Jay Gruden.
Jay Gruden? Right. Like he
Sean
does.
McVay.
Okay, I got it. He reportedly tricked players into thinking he had COVID.
So that what? They would give a shit about him?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Like he did this like a
I think
month ago.
players tune him out. I honestly
Well,
do.
I mean, that's why you're paying him $10 million a fucking year.
Sean McVay is in the coaching tree, in the Gruden coaching tree.
He probably did it briefly with Tampa Bay.
But Sean
He
McVay
did.
he was in Jay Gruden's coaching tree.
No. He was on John Gruden in Tampa Bay as a wide receivers coach.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
But he
figured.
was in
Like,
he was
one of
in
his last
on the
years.
football team. Mike Tomlin is in Jay Gruden's football tree.
He
John
was in
Gruden?
like a secondary coach
Hmm.
for
But
Tampa
they all
during-
came from Holmgren, though, right? I think they were all under Holmgren, who was under Walsh and Seaford, right? Something like that. There's two main schools. It's what? Bill Walsh has the tree, and then Parcells has a tree, and now Belichick has a tree.
And most of Belichick's coaches suck.
How come
They've all been
Shula?
bad, except for Bill O'Brien. But now he's starting to taint his own reputation.
How come
Well,
Shula
that's
doesn't have a
because
big
Bill-
tree?
Because Shula, I think, was more like a West Coast guy.
Yeah.
Or he had like one big coach or two, and then they like left.
Yeah,
I
Andy
mean-
Reid has a coaching tree. Mhm.
He's starting to get one.
All right, Jared Froman.
Sean
If you'd told me 3 weeks ago that the Marlins and Tigers would be fighting for a playoff spot, I'd say you probably smoked too much weed. Well, the second part, you could say most any time. The Tigers are decent, and they are not going to trade.
Marlins bought at the deadline. They got Starling Marte
Yes.
for a rather cheap price.
Yeah, it sucks that Sterling Sharp got sent back to the Nationals, but he could end up.
He'll
back.
be back.
Yeah. Bailey Lesher, F in the chat for Chadwick Bisman. To be able to do all those movies with advanced cancer is a warrior. R.I.P. Wakanda forever. The other thing about Chadwick Boseman is he was actually talented. Like, he didn't get these roles out of pity. Like, oh, yeah, you're going through cancer treatment. No, he was a great actor. It sucks that it took so long for him to break through and get these huge roles. Dodger of Zion, almost NFL time. I'm so jacked. Get in here, Dodge. Get in here.
8 more days.
Yep. No, she's not coming in. All right, she's hanging out. Bailey Leisure, is it me or the sports gods hating on the basketball world? All the shutdown, tragic losses.
There we go.
Okay, etc.
Yep.
Yikes. All right. What's up, Dodge? How you been?
I'm doing all right. I'm just excited that the league is finally coming back. And you guys know what that means, right?
Tarot.
Yep.
I guess we're gonna have to appear on your NFL Tarot stream, right? Is that what you're hinting
Gotta be
at?
before kickoff.
Well, we're doing a
Yes,
show
sir.
next Tuesday, so do you want to do it that Wednesday following?
When
Cutting in.
Tree, that work for you?
That should be able to work for me.
All right, works for me. Let's do it.
All right, so y'all heard it here first. Next Wednesday, 7 p.m. on my stream, NFL Tarot. We're doing this.
We're gonna fucking do it.
Very nice.
Someone said five of cups. Let's not have a 5 of cups for anybody, please.
How long
Although,
until
how's that
Carson
tower
Wentz
for
gets
the
hurt?
Pirates working out?
Yeah. Pirates have been dog shit.
They've been off. Oh,
Mm-hmm. Mets won again today, but
Nope.
why?
and I really don't give a shit about them. That's a
Fucking
sad
Ugh.
part.
All right.
Cries in NL East.
The basket.
But-
Back to this super chat from Bailey. I think the NBA's brought it on themselves.
Most of it is on themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing they really didn't do was Kobe. Like that was just
No,
extenuating
that was-
circumstances.
Yeah, that was bad. Mm-hmm. But Luka Doncic got called a bitch ass white boy. Little hypocrisy there. Little
Yeah.
hypocrisy. I think the only times politics can be in sports if it's all just rah rah for America. Like that's it. Only time it's acceptable is if we're in a war with a small Middle Eastern nation and someone's singing the anthem. That's the only time.
Or you're fighting like a different country.
Yeah. It's got to be like a just cause for there to be.
Like- The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. Fuck
Yep.
them.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like that shit.
That's acceptable.
Oh shoot, Leonard Fournette is planning to sign with the Bucks.
Oh,
Buccaneers.
Tom Brady is
What?
is organizing.
Champions of the
What's up,
offseason, baby. They're gonna go 8-8.
They got
I
McCoy
would
too.
jack so
Remember
bad.
the 2011 Eagles? The 2011
God.
Eagles were
The dream
dripping
team.
with talent.
I
Yeah,
might-
yeah.
Yeah, I might break my
It's
personal
not even good
record.
talent. Tom Brady's 43. Gronk's coming a year off of retirement where he just looked like shit. Shady McCoy got scratched during the playoffs, and the Tampa Bay still has a really suspect secondary.
I think
They
I might
will not
break
beat
my
him out.
personal one-day score if the Bucks go 6-10. I might go -11 if that happens.
Yeah, the Bucks defense isn't bad. They got Ndamukong Suh and Shaq Barrett.
No, I mean the secondary is still bad.
Mm-hmm. They're
Did
gonna
I say
be.
Shaq Barrett or Shaq Thompson? No, Shaq Thompson's on
No, you
those.
said Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett's right.
Mhm.
Shaq Thompson plays for Carolina.
Yeah, okay.
Joey Overstreet. This one started when the show started. We're finally on the 8 o'clock fucking super chats. Yay. Hey guys, can't catch the stream. I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings, hopefully watching the Avs stay alive. Also, real quick, let's go Nuggets. Let's go Avalanche. The Nuggets beat the Jazz, right? And the Jazz
came back from a 3-1 deficit.
Yes, the Jazz tried their hardest.
That was
to
a
blow
crazy
that
ending.
game.
Mhm.
And they did. They blew it like AJ in the Suns locker room.
Mega choke.
Chiseled Adonis referred to head as Gawk Gawk Twist, and that is fucking hilarious. Gawk Gawk Twist 7000. All right, you read the next 4.
All right, let's go for Beast of Metal 1989 for 5. JMU is sending everyone home, and virologists are horrified at the prospect of those students triggering outbreaks in their hometowns.
Yep, 2 of my neighbors, well, one of my neighbors, both their kids go to JMU. In fact, yep, 2 neighbors have kids that go to JMU. We don't talk to them because of the COVID. Like, we've been assholes to our neighbors because we don't want to contract COVID. We don't talk to anyone. We don't hang out with anyone except for one other family.
That's pretty much everyone nowadays,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
That's why mental health is a big issue now.
Soft drink, when was the last time you actually touched a stranger? Like, some type of contact?
A stranger, like someone I don't know.
Yes. Like, physically touch them.
I really don't remember the last time I touched a stranger. It's not.
Like,
That's a weird question.
well, like accidentally bumping into them, or maybe.
Well, I mean, when I go to Walmart, I live in like the southeast, and there's a lot of people here who I guess don't think like COVID is real or something. So when I'm at Walmart, there's people who will like slide in front of me in the aisle when I'm about to grab something to get something below me. So they probably grazed me a few times. So I'd say probably within the last month I've been grazed by a stranger.
When's the last time you touched someone that's not immediate family?
Oh,
Like physically touch them?
yesterday.
What? You just hugged like your...
Yeah, my girlfriend was over.
Okay,
so-
that's immediate family. That's someone, you know.
Well, I played basketball with two of my friends like a week ago. So
I have not touched another person besides probably my wife. I don't well, the kids, yeah, we wrestled a little bit at vacation, but like if I touch someone like maybe elbow to elbow, you know, like, you know,
Oh, I
like
did do an elbow to elbow touch yesterday. I had a guy buy one of my old Xboxes off Craigslist. We were wearing masks, so
and he elbow bumped you.
Elbow.
You've got the COVID because you licked your elbow afterwards. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, someone touched me.
No, it's so weird though. Like I would say before COVID,
I don't think I can't really think of touching anyone outside of immediate family since March.
Right. Well, March, I shook Sterling Sharp's hand.
We did like the little foot tap and the elbow.
I think I gave Miguel Rojas like a hug or something. You know, like we were all like really friendly with people. Now that shit's done. I think the masks stay even after the virus.
That would be cynical as fuck. Nobody likes those things. Like those thin little that shits don't even work.
I wear them at the gym. I don't fucking want that COVID shit. Mm-hmm.
I'll wear them like if I'm walking around. If I'm on a treadmill, I am not wearing that shit. I swear.
Yeah. I'm not wearing them on a treadmill. Okay.
Yeah, like if I lift weights, like I'll wear it, but I'm still like, I mean, I'm sweating through it, and it's like that's comparable.
Dude, you would sweat through fucking 15 blankets. I've seen you sweat. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, I sweat like crazy. Like I mean, most
you
days
sweat like that song. Cardi B saw you and then wrote WAP.
Pretty much. I mean, I look like I just took a dip in a pool. Like that's how bad it gets.
When I saw you, when we went to the gym, 40 minutes. Right? When we went to the gym in West Palm, I was like, "There's no pool in this gym." The fuck, dude?
I know. Like, no. I sweat like a motherfucker.
And you smell like
I smell like donkey's ass, and that's why I took a shower afterwards.
I didn't know they let homeless people in this gym either, but there's a pool, and you've been hugging homeless people. And we're demonetized. Alex Moreno, I'm here. Traffic in SoCal is the worst in America. Nope, Northern Virginia is the worst.
Hey, we have the longest traffic times of anywhere in the country.
At least you have 16 lanes of traffic.
We have 16 lanes and 14 different freeways.
No, I remember one time. Yeah, I drove from downtown LA. I drove from Hollywood to San Diego on a Sunday, and it took me like 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it takes.
Alex Moreno, breaking news: Messi and Durant sign with the Padres. Yes, Padres are going for it too.
They're signing with the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Oh god, guys, I gotta tell you something.
What?
There's this kid I used to know in high school. He was the biggest bandwagon kid ever. Like, remember when the Broncos won the Super Bowl? He comes up to me, he's like, "Alex, guess what? We did it. Did what? We won the Super Bowl." I thought you, because he kept telling me he was a Packers fan. So the very next year, he comes back to me. He said, with a Patriots hat, he says, "Guess what? What? We did it. Wait, what do you mean?" "Well, we won the Super Bowl." "So fine." He was like, "The Patriots, they're my second favorite team." And it's like, I thought you liked the Broncos and the Packers. So he keeps doing this for every single team. All of a sudden, he's a diehard New England Patriots, Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State Warriors fan.
Gotta love those bandwagons.
I hate that kid already. I hate him already.
He's already a Nationals fan, I guarantee.
Yep.
He's got 32 favorite teams.
Marquez Riley. He's got his own jersey in his Avi. EA is going to go out of business in this decade. No way.
No, they're not going to go out of business.
EA makes money hand over fist that's been in a Bella Danger's ass.
I think most people would be happy, though, if they went out of business. Like, besides everyone losing their jobs, everything else is definitely a positive.
Maybe they get acquired.
Most of those programmers are just, like, dealing with crunch and all bullshit.
What's the best game EA makes?
makes today.
Yes.
Probably, I mean, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was a good game. That got good reviews. It was just a single player game, but they really messed up Battlefront too. So I don't know.
But that was because of the microtransactions.
Yeah, I mean, if they make a single player game like with no online at all, they have the budget to make that a good game.
Someone finally agrees about Battlefront. Thank you. Like, Battlefront 2 felt worse than No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is good now, is what I've heard.
That's what I'm hearing. What is it? No Man's Sky Origins is going to be good for the next system. Something
Well, they've
like
just
that.
been adding all sorts of content updates, and it's basically now the game is what they originally promised the game would be.
Yeah, EA, they should stick with what they are good at. What if EA spun off the sports into another company? That
I would love that. That
Yeah.
would be amazing.
like Steve Cohen buys them. We're just like, yes, fuck yeah. That's what you should do. You should hashtag spin off EA Sports. Yeah. And then you would buy it and find out why you can't do anything there. Phil Michaels. I feel like all sports games have become a tire fire in the past 10 years. Yeah. WWE in particular hasn't made a good game since SmackDown versus Raw 2006. I think the problem is do you think we expect too much?
No, we don't. I don't think that's the problem at all. I think with modern day technology, we should be expecting so much more because I think with every single sports game, besides probably NBA 2K, you can find like a PlayStation 2 era game and like really compare that with the modern day game, and it's gonna stack up really well.
You know,
you
we
think
expect a lot with the animations, and we expect it to be real. Like we expect to watch it happen and be like, that wouldn't happen. Or do you think that it was better back in the day? Like
in terms of like, I mean, it depends on the sport we're talking about, but like I still think every sports game can do a much better job. I think they've gotten complacent, and I think the yearly development cycle is really what's hurting them because like you have 1 year to develop a game that needs to be different than the last, and then you got to do it again. I think if they had like 2 years and they just release like roster DLCs for $20, I think we'd see a lot more advancements. But like it's just crazy. Like people say MVP 05 is the best baseball game ever made. You look at, I don't know if you've seen Bengal talk about MLB The Show, but he says that game just sucks.
Yeah.
And the NBA 2K has all sorts of problems. Madden is, I don't even want to talk about it. FIFA, NHL. I don't think there's a single good sports game out right now. I don't think there's a single one.
Most of them are independently created. And
yeah, there's like, to me, sports games rely on the fact that the outcome is always different, and that's what keeps you coming back. Like no matter how terrible the sports game is, like I play sports games because if I beat you 10-1 or 20-1, or if I lose 2-1, it was different every time, right? Like you don't beat someone, even with the score being exactly the same, you don't beat somebody the exact same way every time. And that variability is why I love sports games, because yeah, with like campaign mode or some shit, the objectives is always the same, but you can always challenge yourself in a sports game to do something different. And that's what sports games rely on now. And they're taking advantage of us. That's what's happening, because we need that fix.
Yeah, I mean, all they have to do is update the rosters, and people are going to buy it for $60.
Yeah, it's crazy because GTA 5 comes out 5-6 years ago, and they won't make a new one until the next system. And they've been profitable and made money off the same engine, the same map for 5 years.
It still works.
Yeah,
It's got that staying power.
it does, because it's fun as shit. It's a fun game. Like sometimes I just log into GTA 5 and just walk around the map for a couple hours. Like that's how fucking fun it is. All right.
You know what, though? I have to say one last thing. I do agree, like, 2K I hate has now become this social justice sort of platform. Like, when they crammed the WNBA players and got all the backlash. I mean, what did they expect to happen?
Well, that's NBA syndrome right now. Beast of Metal 1989. I remember the Madden cards in 05. A bunch of them unlocked the first time I popped the game in because I had an EA bio from NASCAR Thunder 2004. Yeah. Cards were the shit. but then they took over the game, and yep, that's where we are today.
They used to be really cool. They had like cheats, like fifth down cheats. Like there's a fifth down card.
I remember that. Yeah, you could play it, and you could be losing, and you'd be like, ah, fuck, let me play this fifth down card. Or you could do the truck card. I remember that, and you'd be like, all right, I'm guaranteed to run it in off of this. Yeah, I remember the fifth down card. That was great. Yeah, because what I would do is I would do the challenges and build up those cards, and then take them to the season mode and win a Super Bowl with like a garbage team because of the cards. Yeah, that was so funny. That's right. I forgot that. Oh yeah. Or you could do the third down card to make the offense only have 3 yards.
Yeah, you could flip it on the other team, give them 3 downs.
Yes, sir. Commander CQC. It's sad when PGA 2K21 has a better gameplay base than Madden. Fun game. Also, UrinatingTree, when will you be debuting as a Boston sports writer?
Oh, God. No, never. And never. I was too busy taking a shit to care.
That's right. Uh-huh. James Amadei, freemium games are worse than EA. Come on. What are freemium
Well, EA
games?
can also make some premium games.
I don't
They
know.
also dabbled.
I don't know about that because Madden is basically a $60 freemium game.
Well, I know they also like offshored some of their licenses to freemium games. I know they did it for Dungeon Keeper. They did it for Command and Conquer. I think a few others as well. But
Madden Mobile is a freemium game.
yeah,
Unit lost.
Unit lost. All right. Rangers 22. Jake Shake. I think that's new. Rangers 2020 Cup champs, not on your life. Lafreniere needs at least a year to develop. Remember, Jack Hughes was the #1 overall pick, and so was Rossman Dahlin, and these were considered no miss picks, and they were kind of hot garbage. Dahlin still has.
Dahlin's okay. The problem is he plays on a garbage team in Buffalo.
It's true. It's true. But he hasn't developed like into McDavid. Obviously there's only one McDavid, but these guys are #1 overalls. Like usually #1s, unless you're the Edmonton Oilers, develop into something.
I don't know, man.
The Simpsons since '90. I say with deep regret that the techmobowl.org site is gone, but they left links to other sites with other hacks. One of them is finishing a new NES ROM hack for Tecmo Super Bowl 21. New Madden suck. Like, okay, we look back to the golden age. Like Tecmo Bowl, you only had 4 plays. Come on now. You could only choose between one of 4 plays, and it was basically Rochambeau.
You had 8 teams, too.
It's true. I used to crush teams with the Bears.
No, the Raiders. Then you could just get Bo Jackson.
Yeah, you get Bo Jackson. You'd crush people too. All right, Tree, read Craig Kramer.
Yep, Craig Kramer for $2. Greatest Mets of all time, rip. Build the statue.
Yep, Tom Seaver.
Yep.
They traded him to the Reds for like jack shit, and then he went on to throw 2 no-hitters and basically, my dad still gets pissed off if you bring up the Tom Seaver trade.
That sounds like the Mets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They let the greatest player in their franchise basically walk because they're assholes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Tom Terrific. Keep her going.
Mm-hmm. Let's keep going. Irvin Alvarado for $5. To SoftDRINKTV, with EA Sports having other rights of games, NHL, FIFA, NBA, golf, do you see issues in those games similar to the NFL being complacent?
I definitely do. I think every EA sports game I think has the same flaws. The franchise mode is awful. It seems like they focus on the ultimate team. You see that with NHL. Like when I look at people who play NHL games and I look at the reviews, they're always complaining about the franchise mode, and they're always complaining about HUT, which is like the hockey ultimate team. That gets all the attention. NBA Live, when that was a thing, it had terrible offline modes. They focus on the online modes. It was just the EA games they have no attention to detail. They're just very sloppy, and they just don't have any depth to them.
Well, yeah, because they put together a skeleton team and they try to rush the development with the lowest cost possible. And NBA Live to me is the funniest example because when they were getting their clocks clean, they just quit, right? They were just like, let's just stop making this game. We're getting fucking, instead of competing, they were just like, fuck it, we're just going to give up, right? So, yeah. And NBA Live, when it came out in 95, was the most incredible game.
Oh, yeah, it used to be fantastic.
Oh my gosh, it was the biggest leap I've ever seen in terms of a basketball game. You went from double dribble to corner three to the fucking first ever 3D, like, you know, layout of the, like, I remember you know, playing for money against people, you know, sometimes $20 a pop because we just loved Live so much. It was such a good game. You know. Keep reading.
Yes, sir. Let's keep on going here for Sean Pinkerton for 5. Grossi Posse has just joined the 100K club last night. Cheers to Tom. Indeed, I kind of popped in on a stream for a little bit.
I did too last night, and I made fun of you.
Yeah, I made fun of you too.
Okay, because they kept asking where you were. I was like, I told them that you were eating ice cream.
Yes, because of my
and you
my
said
tweet.
that I was bald.
Everyone's bitching about Ben and Jerry's, but when you're a fat ass, you don't care what kind of ice cream it is. You just want to eat.
You don't care what you support, right? When you buy that hippie ice cream.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit. It's like, is the ice cream good? Whatever, I don't give a fuck.
It's true. It's true. It's like a hot chick.
When you're high, nobody fucking cares. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
Most people who smoke weed are probably left-leaning anyway. Whatever.
No, everybody smokes weed. Everybody smokes weed. That's the one unifying thing of all of our generations, is that everyone likes to get high. Keep reading. Keep reading.
Yep. Donovan Gibbs for $4.99. I almost threw out NFL 2K for the PS2 a few years ago. Thank God I kept the game in the console. I thought I still had it at my mom's house.
Can't you still get roster updates?
I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just updated my 2K5 roster.
The gameplay of that game, like, how is that so much better? Like, the animations, like, just the battles on the line, like,
it's not just that, it's the presentation, it's the features, it's the immersion. They don't even have first-person football, and they had that 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, they even had some of the gimmicky shit, but they had that, like, in the background. Like, oh, you want to play Carmen Electra? Go ahead.
If EA just purchased NFL 2K5, right, and just remastered, like, just skinned it, would you buy that?
Yeah, I think anyone
would, but they won't.
It's such a shame that engine and that technology is just rotting away on old 360s and PS3s. It's a shame. Goddamn shame.
Mm-hmm.
Makai Wilson, who dies tonight, Thunder or Rockets? I think
hopefully both.
Yeah, I know. I would love the Thunder to advance. I would just love it.
that's who I want.
I just think
the only good thing about a Lakers-Rockets series is only one of those teams can advance.
I know. The Lakers are being handed a trip to the conference finals, though.
Pretty much. They're gonna rig it for the Lakers. We all know this. I love how like Lakers fans are pretending they're underdogs. It's like, dude, you're the one. You're gonna beat Portland.
No.
Everyone called you to beat Portland.
Trey McGuthin, Mr. Tree, do you think you would make a post-mortem for EA? It would be like good old days of Fat Man Judge. Yeah, should you do a Lao Cow on EA Sports? Have you done one before?
I did like Video Games Need to Die, but that was like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'd do it now.
Yeah, that's kind of soft drinks jam. You'd be coming in on his territory.
Beating a dead horse, man. Everyone knows EA bad.
EA bad, just like Orange Man.
Bill, the minute you make that video about EA, I'm going to Redwood City and putting a brick through their window.
Apparently, the Kentucky Derby's this Saturday.
There's EA checking in. Yeah. I guess they're not going to have mint juleps, right? They're just going to race the
no mint
horses.
juleps, no top hats, but rich people crying over
no
horses.
thotties in overly sized hats and sundresses.
No Wes Welker getting shit-faced.
Yeah. That seems
Was
like
it
a fun
Wes Welker or
day.
Julian Edelman? I'm not sure.
I would love to get drunk at the Kentucky Derby and then get kicked by a horse at some point.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's probably not happening
Wander
because
onto the track.
fucking COVID and
Right.
crazy governors that think we're all going to die. And Colorado just scored.
I would get drunk and then wager like $500 on some horse I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
What's the coolest name?
Uh,
Imagine if you just like randomly bet money on American Pharaoh. And it's like, oh shit!
Is it
Go
in
on.
good? Uh huh.
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
it's
Big
gonna go
Brown?
Cale McCullough.
Smarty Jones. Uh huh. What other horses can you remember? Secretariat. Bill's
Barbaro, remember like the one horse?
Yeah,
they said was
Barbaro. He
hot?
broke his leg and they shot him in the
Yeah,
face.
they had to like
They had to euthanize
apparently
him.
like people donated hundreds of thousands of dollars for his medical care. It's like it's a fucking
They
horse.
sucked.
Stop.
I like how they're like, hey, this horse really likes the attention. I'm like, no, the horse likes oats. Like the horse wants to
The horse
eat.
likes oats, and if he gets to sire.
Right. He's like, I wanna fuck some mares. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Sondgerath. Will 5 Points or Tree ever get an OnlyFans? You know it. I'm gonna start one. I'm gonna Bella Thorne that shit. I'm gonna get $1 million in a couple days.
Is where it's at nowadays, man.
What kind of simp pays, what is it, $200 for Bella Thorne's OnlyFans, and then demands a refund?
She raised like $2 million on that
Mhm.
shit.
Bella Thorne isn't even that good looking. Like, I don't see why people are paying for that one.
Because it's
like
name recognition.
right. It's like
No.
if
Same reason why if Taylor Swift had an OnlyFans, you'd have a bunch of
She's not even that
people.
good looking. Like, if Lizzo had one, she'd make bank, even though she
Oh,
Wait, isn't
why would you? No, stop.
isn't Bella Thorne that little-looking British girl, the one that sold her bathwater?
no.
No,
that's someone else.
that was some other
Belle
gamer
Delphine.
chick. Yeah, Delphine.
okay.
Yeah, whatever.
I was about to say people
that apparently fucked
people
Tara
over her because she looks like she's 14.
Bella Thorne sounds like a porno star's name already. Like I can't
She's
believe
like
that.
Disney star.
doing porn in a few years.
Yeah, she'll be there.
YouTubers and porn, it's probably going to be a future thing. It's like, oh, how can we diversify our brand? Yes, porn.
Well, that's what I'm into next. If this YouTube
Works
thing
for
doesn't
Vanessa
work out.
Hudgens.
Donovan Gibbs, Tree, will there be a legacy of failure for Mello?
Hello? I don't know. I mean, he'll probably keep playing for another year if he can.
I don't know. He's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, there are a lot of like NBA players that have never gotten rings. Like Vince Carter just retired; he never
Yeah,
got a ring.
Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer too, Vince Carter. Beast of Metal 1989. All the bullshit grocery shopping is the reason why I started ordering most of my groceries online. Obviously, accepting any high demand product. Yeah, groceries online though, way more expensive. Like
Yeah,
we
I
spend
usually just
300.
go
Yeah,
and I'll like shop. Like I'll find like cheap stuff. Problem is, like most prices, especially with meat, chicken, and steak, their prices have like doubled.
the problem I have is the shopper is usually retarded and cannot find a replacement, and they're texting you like 8 times, like I couldn't find this fucking bacon. I'm like, fucking find whatever's close and stop texting me, you fucking asshole.
Well, they want to find the specific brand because if it's not a real
Whatever,
brand,
I'm
people-
just like, fucking don't list that shit on your site if you don't have it. Fuck you. I always get the retarded shopper.
that's why I do my own shopping.
Okay, I'm sorry. I always get the less than intelligent shopper. Retarded people.
They're
There's
getting paid
there
minimum
is
wage.
special
expecting
people.
like
right.
anyone could for
Well,
that shit.
I'm just saying. They get a tip and the driver gets a tip. A lot of times the driver is the one that's shopping. So it's all one. Anyways, make EA Sports great again. What a great name right there. Boston fan here. Tree's Boston media vid is so true. I thought it was great. I thought it was absolute great.
That was just one.
Especially
I did
the
random.
injury section. Right? You don't want to get injured? Don't have your players skate into ours.
Mhm.
Mario
You don't wanna get injured, don't be
fanboy.
a midget.
Yeah, let's get through these because we've already done an hour and 23 of time, and I think I want to respect Soft Drink's odd sleep schedule.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Mario
I'm definitely going to
fan-
bed soon.
Yeah. Mario fanboy 15, $5 out of all the sports simulation games. I think MLB the show does it the game. that. I read that verbatim. Isn't Out of the Park Baseball the greatest simulation game ever?
That's a management game though.
Yeah, well,
So that's
There's no gameplay.
well that.
It's a manager. So like it's one of those where it's like I love it, but it's not for everyone.
Earl Weaver back in the day was like the mix between simulation and gameplay.
Yeah. There was one like back in the day called High Heat Baseball that wasn't too bad.
Yeah. High Heat Baseball. Shit. Remember when you had a code wheel and you had to look for the fucking code for the game and you had to, and then type it in
doing the instruction manual.
That was copyright protection back then because you could install every game on anything. You just needed the disc, but then you needed the copyright wheel. The Simpsons since 90. If I appeared on SDTV's EA vid, I would have gushed over NBA Showdown 94 or MVP Baseball 4 or 5. The Giants announcers did MVP for 04 and 05. How many people submitted for that video, Soft Drink? Because that was epic.
I think I had 17 people in the video.
Oh my gosh.
It was a lot of editing. Basically, what I did is I paid someone on Fiverr to transcribe everything. So then I was able to turn it into a script. That was the easiest way I could do that.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I just thought I watched that movie from start to finish, not just because I was in it, but it was just interesting from start to finish. Yes,
I noticed that.
It was one of your
like it wasn't like too fast paced, but it wasn't like something that dragged.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it too long. I had like 3 hours of audio, so I had to cut a lot of stuff.
Well, you can splice that for other projects if you want, if it fits.
Yeah, I could always reuse it. I have it saved to my hard drive.
I felt like I was the most robotic because I planned out what I was going to say.
Yeah, you sounded a little scripted.
Yeah, I was scripted. I was the only one. I didn't feel... You were like, you said, hey, be more casual, but I was like, I got to fucking do this. And I just like read it. Like, Tree says I didn't sound robotic, but I sounded very robotic.
I mean, I think you were fine. I don't think anyone would watch it and just think that.
Yeah, I didn't really notice like it was scripted.
Everything is scripted.
Just in general.
I'm scripted right now. I'm reading off a little tiny script here that tells me the thoughts. It says,
I am a robot people.
Right. It says, make fun of EA and then masturbate later. Okay, got it. Alex Moreno, LOL, how the hell does Gase have a job? Like the fuck?
Because the Jets are a poorly run organization and don't know what the hell they're doing.
It seems like the NFL is better at not giving head coaches retread tries. They're not like the NHL. Like sometimes somebody was a head coach and they just become like a special team coach. Like they never make it back to the big seat. Like I don't think Ben McAdoo will ever be a head coach again.
Yeah, I mean, Freddie Kitchens isn't going to be a head coach again.
Yeah,
Rod Marinelli is never going to be a head coach again.
Yeah.
Oh, there are plenty. Marty Morningweg has still been a coordinator for a while. Like
Ron Chudinsky.
2018.
Ron Chudinsky was a head coach. Hugh Jackson might not ever.
Cleveland ruined Rob Chudinsky. He was like a top coaching prospect at the time. It's like, oh, fuck you, you're fired. And then his career just went nowhere after that.
Romeo Crennel will never be a head coach again. Matt Patricia's barely a head coach.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dan Quinn will be a head coach after this.
If you really want to be specific,
if you coach
down back this year.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
if you,
I mean that's the thing though. I mean, like this is their last chance.
If you coach in a Super Bowl
last year, but
if you coach in a Super Bowl, that buys you at least one more stint.
But what happened in that Super Bowl?
The greatest choke of all time. Like it's not just that. It's talking about 5-0 starts where you immediately collapse them as the playoffs. You're talking about being heavy favorites against the injured Philadelphia team and failing to show up. It's about dealing with endless failure, going 1-6 to start the year, or 1-7, I think.
Yeah, having
don't
a
remind
league
me of Super Bowl
MVP.
52, please.
Yeah. Having a league MVP and just squandering him, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
having a postseason where you ripped everybody
from that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I don't see they seem to be willing to recover.
Tagur89, I remember asking about SportsVids here a year or two ago, and I feel like it's come full circle. Also, it appears my President's Trophy jinxing of the Bruins succeeded. Yep.
Welcome to the President's
Trophy going away. Oh, the Falcons also wasted Tony Gonzalez. Alex Moreno never made it a wise man. Couldn't cut. Yeah. Enough. I'm not singing that shit. Never made it as a wise man. Couldn't cut it as a poor man's anus bleeding. All right. Craig Kramer. 2020 Bucks are the 2019 Browns. Yep. All they need to do is sign a big name receiver. Oh wait, they got Rob Gronkowski. Rob Brombrowski.
Wait till they trade for Sean Jackson. Again.
This is how you remind me of how bald you are.
Actually, wait. They should sign Des Bryant.
They should get Edelman somehow.
This is how
New England struggles.
They'll get Jalen Ramsey somehow.
Oh, come on.
Beast of Metal 1989. Dodger, please give the Patriots the Tower reverse and the Eight of Pentacles reversed. I wish to bathe in delusions about them plummeting with us.
Hey, if they get the 8 of Tentacles, I know a user on the Urinating Tree Discord that... Never mind.
Okay, that's
a
an
bunch of
inside joke.
anime freaks on there, man. It's like
joke.
furries need a flamethrower, and anime people need Jesus. That's what
Jesus. A lot of people need Jesus. Anime people need body pillows. That's what they need.
You need to introduce them to the Jeebus Cross body pillow tree.
Jeebus Cross body pillow. Yes.
You can make some real money on that shit.
Does it have a hole in it?
Jeebus Cross. Replica.
Do body pillows come with a hole for a fleshlight in it? Are they made with that, or do you have to sew it in yourself?
I'm pretty sure that somebody will make something somewhere if you ask them. And
I'm sure it's on Wish.
A lot of money.
I'm sure it's on Wish.com. Like you can just find a body pillow with a fleshlight hole already built into it.
Like, can you create a little hole and actually a little appendage as well for some curiosity?
It's called a blow-up doll.
Or a Chris Letang body pillow to be shipped to Pittsburgh.
That's right. Can someone please buy Tree a Chris Letang body pillow?
That's going to be a hard pass.
Hey, it sounds like an infomercial product.
All right.
Call now and we'll throw in this free flashlight.
How about this?
Go now, we'll even throw in the voice box.
Yeah. For a $500 donation, you can send me the Chris Letang body pillow. I will sew in a fleshlight hole, and then I'll mail it to Tree.
I will fucking kill you.
I will put your check that I send you for the split of the earnings in the hole.
You realize that I am listening to this call, right?
I do hear you. I do hear. And then Tree would have to inflate it with foam peanuts and then hug it live on air.
That's gonna be a no.
And I'm going to write on the outside of that box, which one of you boys wants to unwrap me first?
You shit.
Oh, God. Bringing up the Vietnam flashbacks.
Hold on. Hi, Billy Mays here to tell you all about the Chris Letang body pillow. It's got it all. It's got overpayment. It's got broken dreams, and it's got subpar defense. And it can be yours for only $500. But that's not all. If you call in the next 30 minutes, we'll sew in the fucking fleshlight absolutely free. Here's how to order.
God, you people are...
Now give me some Coke. All right.
Oh my God.
Jared Froman, the Jazz choke so hard that they should change their name to the Blues because that's what they're singing now. My blue. Kurt Coble. This one's good. Jake Allen has been traded to Montreal to clear cap space. I don't understand this since he was the far superior goaltender to Jordan Bennington. Bennington is the man for the future, but he just had a bad...
Here's the problem. They're desperate to sign Alex Pietrangelo, and they're trying to clear up cap space as much as they can.
And Jake
they're
Allen,
going to do a few more moves, and, like, that's the only way you can.
Jakey Poo is one of the most hated players of all time in St. Louis for no reason, for absolutely no reason.
You know, Pietrangelo is looking at those San Jose defense contracts and turning around to St. Louis and say, well, where's mine?
I'm as good as
million
EK, if not better. Yep. He's like, I want Carlson money. I want Drew Doughty money. I don't think he's that good.
Fall to shit.
I don't think he's that good,
Or-
but he'll get it.
Even Brent Burns.
Yeah, he won Burnsy money. Yep.
Burns at 8.5. Damn.
Yeah.
Kings.
Beast of Metal 1989. You think you had a dickhead for? You think you're a dickhead for just not talking to your neighbors? I frequently yell 6 feet or you'll kill us all at mine.
Wow,
You know what I've particularly gotten to hate is when you go to the grocery store and someone starts putting their food on the belt while you're paying. That will piss me off. Get your
Well, the
fucking
problem is
Corona-
they have like the payment right by the beginning of the belt now.
Yeah, well, that's why. I
Oh
go
no,
to
ours is
self-serve.
still at the end out here, but like people just still are like, front to ass in the fucking line at the grocery
Oh
store
my
anymore. I'm
gosh.
like, dude, fucking back up.
Well, you are in Cali,
You
so
still have to pay for bags in Cali. You
Corona.
can't walk out within them anymore.
Corona doesn't exist in Cali, right? Craig Kramer says MLB The Show is great, and Beast of Metal 1989 says the best sports game is Zamboni Simulator 2019.
Oh, you get to play David Ayers and then become a goaltender in the third period of a big game against the Maple
There
Leafs.
was a version of NHL where you could race Zambonis, right? I think.
Probably, I might have been NHL Hits that may have done that. I'm not sure.
There was this game. I don't know. Soft Drink. Did you play any games on Genesis, or are you too young for that?
Not when I was like a kid, but I have like later on just to try them out.
There was a game called Mutant Hockey on Genesis, and you could reach before the face-off. You could reach across the face-off circle and punch the other robot in the face. Like,
So is it like Mutant League Football?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
Mutant
So
Football
you
League?
would just before the ref threw the puck down, you're like literally punching your opponent in the face like repeatedly. It's like fuck you. Pap, pap, pap.
There's actually this company sent me an email with a key for some Switch hockey game they want me to do a video on, which I might do.
Really?
And it's like it's like full of blood. It's like a pixel art
Oh,
type
Super
game.
Blood
like that.
Hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically you hit people and they bleed out on the ice. It's very
Yeah.
It's very graphic. Mhm. It's basically
So
GTA on
apparently
ice.
there's controversy in the Heat Bucks game now. Apparently,
Uh-oh.
like the refs suck or some shit. Like I'm not paying
wow.
attention.
Yeah, I have
Well,
that
I'm
up
not-
right here.
Yeah, I'm not watching
I mean,
that.
I haven't really watched much NBA since
Daryl Morey since China
Well, I mean,
owns them.
in general, but
Yeah.
either. But still, it's like
I don't watch until the finals because I don't want to be uninformed. Like
like I'll probably pay attention for if I do an NBA Finals vid, but that's really
Pat
about it.
McAfee's is tweeting about it. He says basketball refs can do whatever they want, dude.
Welcome to the NBA.
Yep. Oh, it's tie. Oh, it's going into overtime, I think.
No, actually, it looks like Heat are gonna win.
Yeah,
So they're gonna
Butler's
be up
with
2-0.
0 seconds left. He's shooting.
Guys,
free throws.
breaking news. Leonard Fournette went to the Bucks.
Oh,
Mhm.
we already covered that.
Mentioned that.
Mhm.
I broke the news.
So
I
the
mentioned
Heat.
it.
Right.
Okay, so
about a half hour ago.
so the Heat got like what, a free throw at the end or some shit.
Yeah, 0.0. My stream, I guess, is delayed. And they just got 2 free throws.
Mhm.
The
115.
NBA is always rigged. Always.
Oh, the NBA is always rigged. I don't know why people watch that shit.
It's
Heater
the
up 2-0 now
WWE of
on the
sports.
first seed.
It's the WWE of sports.
The Heat are a great team, though, this year. I think
Yeah,
they're pretty underrated.
underrated.
Eric
I'm great.
Spoelstra is one of the most underrated coaches of all time.
Well, the problem is when he started, he dealt with LeBron, and he got that
Yeah.
reputation of he got carried. When
He
in
was a
reality,
video
that's not
guy.
really the case.
He was a film room guy. He started from nowhere. Like he just he became a coach. He just ground his way into coaching, and it shows you. I mean, without Braun, he's made the playoffs every year, and yeah. Anyways, Beast of Metal 1989, Damage Slaughter. I'm eating supper, and you're just making me hungry all over again. Fucking stop already. What were we talking
That was
about?
when we were talking about Ben and Jerry's.
Oh yeah, ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think? How many pounds do you think Beast of Metal weighs? Do you think he's a fat guy, or do you think he's like
I don't know.
tall
Probably
and fat?
230, 225.
I
I'm not
imagine
sure.
Beastie being in shape. Soft drink.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh 165.
You're that skinny?
Yeah,
Damn,
I'm pretty
heavier
skinny.
than you. I weigh 170.
10 more than me, actually. I'm only 155.
Oh my gosh.
I'm 6'1".
Oh
So
god.
I'm pretty skinny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could not be that
lucky
skinny.
you.
My frame just makes me look gaunt. I was out of college. I was 195, and I was just like I was a fucking skeleton. So it's, ugh.
I weigh 170, and it's all muscle, except for.
I'm
Except
just
for
glad that
where I'm
I've
fat.
lost 10 pounds since the start
Hey,
of the pandemic.
congrats! Way to
Mm.
go. Most
Nice.
people are gaining weight during the
Yeah,
pandemic.
I didn't do too well. Like pandemic threw me out of whack, so I'm trying to get back
Yeah,
down.
but-
I think I've lost about 10
The
myself.
Quarantine 13 was what people were gaining. Mhm.
Yeah, the quarantine 15.
Mhm.
I
But
was
now-
139 2 years ago.
You're. Oh my gosh! I graduated high school. I weighed 140. I was a skinny bitch.
Wow.
I'm only 5'10", so.
I'm 5'9". I was 98 going into high
I'm
school.
5'8".
Gosh. 5'8". Not everyone can be over 6
5'8".
feet tall like Soft Drink Sports.
Is Tree 5'11" or is he 5?
Or
He
ag.
says he's
5'11".
5'11". Are you
About as
taller
tall
than
as
me,
one
Tree? Dodge, do you think Tree's taller than me, or are we the same height?
Last time in Canada, y'all were about the same height.
Yeah.
So I
If it's
say I'm
anything that's like
5'10".
marginal, dude, it's not much.
I say I'm 5'10", but I'm really 5'11", but I just don't like lying. Okay?
I hang out with a bunch of short people.
You do. Hey, you're what, 6'3"?
Yes.
Yep. See?
Oh, I have short people. Ken's is only 5'2".
Oh, well, my wife is 5'3", so.
Just call her fun size.
Mhm. How tall is your girlfriend, Softy?
Oh, she's 5 foot flat. She's really short.
You got a midget? That's cool.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah,
That's,
Beast
isn't that
Metal said he's
legal?
250 to 260, so that's his.
I thought you can apply
Uh.
for disability if you're like under 5 feet. No.
Well, I don't know if she's under. She says she's 5 feet. Maybe
she have
she's
to
4'11" and
sit-
a half. and
Does she
I
have
don't
to
know.
sit on a booster to drive a car?
I mean, she does have to raise the seat pretty high. I hope she's not going to listen to this.
What the hell was that
Okay.
commercial years ago that had the guy sitting in the seat behind his grandma and says, "Can't see, raise the seat. I can't reach the pedals, lower the seat."
I forget. I don't know.
Honda. It was a Honda Odyssey. The Honda
Oh.
Odyssey.
It was something like
It's
that.
about
I can't
adjustable
remember.
seats. Logan Brown. NCAA 14 is better than any Madden game that has been released this decade. Playing 14 right, and I am not touching Madden until I see serious change. Serious change. He wants.
I feel like NCAA 14 is I would call that the last great EA Sports game.
Well, franchise mode was amazing on that. And that's one where you can play it over and over again, and it's still satisfying like every time.
Because there's
You
so
know.
much to do. You can take one of the top schools and keep them going. You can rebuild a small school. It had Team Builder, which was like crazy. Because you go to this website and you could create a team from scratch. It
Right.
was so detailed.
And you could
Just a lot
also
of
build your
fun.
own stadium, right?
Yeah. It had all the features people wanted in Madden. They put way more into the college games. The presentation had ESPN too.
I miss the
Yeah.
NCAA football
Yeah.
games.
But it's
Those
so,
were my favorite games. The
it's
NCAA
gotten so
football
repetitive
series.
that even Drew is not doing it anymore, you know? Like
Well,
not
he's
the
been playing it
expert.
for the past how many years?
10 years. 6 years, whatever, however long it's been since it came out. I remember one time I went to a national sales meeting. This was in 2013, and I brought my Xbox 360 with me so I could play NCAA 2014 with me, with Auburn running Gus Malzahn's playbook. Yep. All right. Tree, read the last three and we can get out.
Yes, sir. Alex Moreno, you guys got to rap the new song. Also, anyone who wants to be on the next song, let me know. And Mario Fanboy 15, shoot, I meant to say MLB The Show does it the best. I'd say
Oh,
so.
what's the song? What's the song?
I think it's like that Whole Lot of Money
Oh
parody.
boy.
Oh, let him. Yeah, it's got to be the Antonio Brown.
Oh
parody.
god.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where's the
No.
message? Do I have to rap it?
Yes.
No.
Whole lot of money. Is it Must Be the Money?
No, not the Deion Sanders one.
I don't
That's the-
know that
Oh,
beat.
let him.
I don't know that beat. I have
Something
to
called
listen to
Whole
it.
Lot of Nothing.
Yeah, that's what it's really about. But it's like word around town of the MVP. Like they want. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never heard that song, so I can't rap it.
Yeah, I haven't heard that in a while, so I gotta
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, we got to
research.
research it. Okay.
Next week.
'Cause I
Next
only,
week
I
with-
only remember the first few like lines, and it's like this is fucking.
When
horrible.
Grassi's
Yeah, it's
on,
fine.
we'll do that. I thought it was
I will
Grossi.
say-
I thought his name
I
was
will
Tom
say
Grossi.
I same too. I thought it was Grossi, and then he corrected me.
Yeah, he said Grassi. Well, then
Grossi.
then it made sense when I was like, oh, Grossi rhymes with posse. What about the
I am
Grossi?
gonna do
Does
a
his,
remix on Joey Overstreet's song though. If you guys, anyone else wants to like chime in with it, I guess I'll give everyone else a chance if they want to be on it.
If he had a vagina, it'd be the Grossi. Anyways, all right, we made it to the end. Holy shit!
Yay!
I know, man.
45. Soft drink. Do you have any parting shots for your first ever podcast, live stream, whatever you want to call it?
I just want to say, well, first of all, that went pretty good. That was it exceeded the expectations of being a dumpster fire, so I think it was a success. I'd like it if people would follow me on Twitter at SoftDrinkTV, because I don't have very many followers relative to like other YouTubers my size, I think. And if people want to subscribe to me, I make videos about sports games. Right now, I'm on a bit of a Madden is bad run, but
Because it's
I like,
working. That's why.
yeah, because I mean we're kind of trying to make some
Clocking
change here,
views,
but
right.
I like to make videos about all kinds of sports games. I make videos on I just made a video on NBA Jam. I made videos on Live 2K,
Ooh.
Beat the Show.
I did watch the NBA Jam one. That was good.
So yeah, if you like old sports games, new sports games, it's basically what my channel is. I have one video about Eli Manning too, but that's just kind of
Yeah.
that was a random thing. So yeah, and I thought this was a fun podcast. I think it went pretty well for my first one. I'm happy you guys invited me on.
Well, glad to have you.
You too. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Milo Motion says, Adam,
make
you
your
wish
acquaintance
they were
finally."
all muscle. Look at this. Look at this muscle right here. I'm 43, all right? Look at that. Uh-huh. I wish you were in this in shape.
Enjoy that midlife
Look at
crisis,
that.
man.
Yeah, that's muscle right there.
Oh,
Look at that. Uh-huh. I work
Sure.
out 6 times a week.
Yeah, I
Look
worked out
this
7 last
terrible.
last week. I mean, yeah.
All right, Tree, you got any parting thoughts?
No, I don't, sir. I'm working on the Haters Guide to the NFL right now, and
hey!
that's really about it.
I've got.
I'll have them out over the weekend
What do I
or
got
earlier,
coming?
hopefully.
I have tomorrow the NFL's most breakable records. Then what happened to these NHL arenas? And then Tree, if the Canucks get eliminated, would you want to do? I want to do. Why aren't Canadian teams winning the Stanley Cup? Would you want to collab on that?
Yeah, I'm game for that.
All right, and then yeah, lots of shit coming. All right,
Baldy, I got a request for you.
what's that?
Do one on like the bottom like 10 worst MLB stadiums since like 1970.
No,
Like,
I got a
the
video.
absolute
No,
worst
I have a
ones.
video coming up. The MLB's saddest stadium. You will not
Yes.
guess. It'll.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be really good. It'll be.
It's
It
coming.
literally is the saddest stadium I've ever found in all sports.
Ooh.
All right, Tree. Any parting thoughts?
No, sir.
All right. Well, I'm 5PointsVids, and you made it to the end. Oh, yep. Dodgers doing an afterburn. So
See y'all at
everybody
the
check that out.
afterburn.
Wait, tell them about the
Alright.
new song. I will give everyone in the chat a chance to be on it.
What new song?
Oh, I'm doing a remix of Joey Overstreet's Drunken Ranger
yeah.
song.
All right. Anyways, I gotta get out. It's almost 10 o'clock. All right. I'm 5PointsVids, and you made it to the end of another dumpster fire.
Shocking.
Shockingly.